There's been a long, drawn-out legal battle between this administration and former Fire Chief Brian Crimmins, who was demoted and subsequently fought his case in court and won. The city has been paying a $100 daily fine, $36,500 a year, from taxpayers' money. The majority of the fire department supports his reinstatement. With only one chief possible, what's your stance on the judge's ruling, and how will you resolve this costly and divisive situation?
I think it goes back to one of your questions earlier. How are we going to be good stewards of taxpayer dollars, right? And one of the things we want to end frivolous litigation. So I think that definitely falls in that category. I think it's time to move on, end it. The judge said we need to reinstate him. Let's get rid of those fines there, and then try and work with whatever misgivings the current administration had, in him doing his job, if they find anything for cause there, how can we help him do his job better? How can we make sure there's that alignment within the fire department, from his battalion chiefs to all the way down, to have a communication for him and for everyone else, to how we could support that going forward, to making sure the morale in the fire department is high and boosted, so they can serve our taxpayers better. And everyone can feel safe in doing that, and how he can do his job better. That comes from support from me, and having that communication, sitting everyone down and saying, we're moving on from here. We're no longer going to spend taxpayer dollars on a lawsuit that we've lost time and time again. How we move on from this, best for everyone to try and resolve this issue. So I think it's time to resolve it. It's time to bring him back. But then after we bring him back, it's time to figure out how he could serve best in his capacity, how we could maximize his potential as a fire chief. What were those shortcuts? We have to have an honest conversation on what the issues that the individuals that brought the complaints against him had. How can we address those concerns moving forward? How could I can assist him in being the best leader he could be, and vice versa. And how can he assist me in keeping our residents safe from fire and other instances with the city of Hoboken? But it's had to have that hard conversation, I think, even for myself, right? No one wants to be criticized. No one wants to be critiqued. But ultimately, I have to look in the mirror every single day and say, I could do X, Y, and Z better. And I think for Chief Crimmins, he'll have to have that conversation himself of what I could do better that led to that. And everyone, and myself included, what decisions I can make doing better with how it got this far. Mm-hmm. Even though it's an executive branch decision that led it there, but as a legislator, what I could have done better, I think we all had those honest conversations. I don't think those happen a lot of times. The best thing, the best policies we could get from is being honest on why things failed and how we could avoid those failures going forward. So let's see, how did that fail, how to get to this point, and let's avoid that going forward, where he could be the best leader he could be. That allows me the best leader I could be. Mm-hmm. And we could produce positive outcomes for our residents. That's what that needs to be. And put egos aside.
Great.
So I would agree that this is a divisive situation. I think I'm not totally sure that all of that is accurate with respect to whether the city is paying a fine currently. I know that those were some of the terms around the judge's request of the city. I really, Brian Crimmins is a neighbor of mine. His children go to school with mine. I don't feel comfortable, I would say, speaking about somebody who is my neighbor in this way. I consider that a matter that is something that, the city council has been briefed on confidentially about the circumstances around that situation. It is a challenging one. I respect the Crimmins family too much to speak about him in, I think, a public forum in this way. So I would rather just say that that's something that I think will be handled hopefully to some closure so that everyone can move forward, including Chief Crimmins, out of respect for him and his family.
You know what, I think it should just come to an end. And there's definitely two sides of this, and we've heard, both sides of it. And there's two parts of this. Whether or not some people don't, fully appreciate the management style of Chief Crimmins or not, that I think is up for debate. How the city handled it and how they kind of hunted him in this process should never have happened. It was terrible how they did it. But that being said, we've gotten through this process. I believe that it should have come to an end when it came to an end. When he got the ruling, the city continues to appeal it, and that's the decision, of the mayor, which is, I think it's a waste of taxpayer dollars. I think we just need to conclude and bring it together and move on.
He should be reinstated immediately. It's that simple. It's a very clear and decisive decision, right? You need to make sure that we're leading. Right? We lead from the front. If you want to be a leader, you need to lead from the front. This has been drawn out for so long. He should be reinstituted immediately. It has been heard in the courts. I know that there are some firefighters who were on the opposite side of this. They didn't believe he was a strong leader. The courts ruled differently, right? I think he has that skill set. I think he should be reinstated. I really do. And that's something that I think would be immediate when I'm elected, and he'll be back in that position, if not sooner. It should happen now, right? But if it doesn't, it would be one of the first things that I do.
Okay, awesome.
So my information could easily be flawed. My understanding is that the person in question here does not want to be fire chief. At least that's what I've heard.
Sure.
Now, I could be completely wrong about it, but my understanding is that he has no interest in becoming the fire chief again.
Okay.